Hello students, I hope you are all fine and in good health. In this audio presentation, I will be discussing with you all the complete summary and as well as the uh, poem overview. And the name of the poem, as you know by this time, it is the Laburnum Top, written by Ted Hughes. As I told you, while I was discussing the poem earlier related with the stanza wise explanation when I was doing of this poem, at that time I told you all that it is a poem that is related with glorification of motherly love towards her baby birds, as been represented by the mother goldfinch bird, as well as we find the glorification of the world of nature represented by the autumn season, the season of fall, that we can find in this poem also been mentioned. Now, this poem is a very short poem and it depicts a scene in the wilderness. Laburnum tree stands there still and silent, basically for the longer period of time, the better part of the day, we can say the laburnum tree remains silent and still. With the arrival of the goldfinch bird, all of a sudden the tree regales with excitement. There is noises, there is twitterings, there is chirpings of the baby chicks or the baby birds as they got to hear the signal sound of their mother goldfinch. And then again with the exit of the goldfinch bird towards the infinite sky or towards the topmost branch of the laburnum tree, again the laburnum tree subsides into stillness and silence. Again there is the death-like silence that can be noticed in case of the laburnum tree. That means only when the arrival of the goldfinch bird, it regales with noises. Again with the exit or the departure of the goldfinch bird, who exit after feeding and after providing nourishment to her baby birds, again the tree moves into stillness and silence. So let me continue. Laburnum tree stands there silent and still. It has a nest built on it. The little mother goldfinch arrives to meet and feed her young ones. Sitting at one end of a branch, it gives a signal sound, and listening to that, there creates a euphoric excitement can be noticed in case of the baby birds. They go on chirruping and twittering and making noises. Sitting at one end of a branch, it gives a signal sound. The young ones recognize their mother's voice and start chirping together like some engine, just like some engine gets lubricated, or rather to say, it's the starting up of an engine that was been kept quiet for a long time, or that was quiet for a long time. The bird, alert and swift, makes her way to the nest. When the purpose of her visit to meet and feed the little ones is accomplished, she flies away. This is how the cycle of life and multiplication goes on in the world of nature. It is all natural, or dear students, we can say it is all instinctive. The mother bird makes her nest amongst the thick leaves of a tree. It brings up her chicks or her baby birds until they are strong enough to fly and find food on their own. Until and unless the birds are strong enough to fly, and until and unless they can find food on their own, it remains the essential responsibility of the mother goldfinch to protect her baby chicks or to protect her baby birds. Dear students, I am now moving on to the next paragraph. The laburnum tree top is silent and motionless. On a September afternoon, the golden sunlight is spread on it, or scattered on it, we can say. The few leaves left on the tree are turning yellow in autumn. All the seeds have already fallen to the ground. These are all because of the cycle of nature or natural occurrence that moves on in a cyclic rhythm, or we can say in a cyclic movement. But the silence of the laburnum tree is all of a sudden broken with the arrival of a small singing bird which is actually the mother goldfinch, and the color of the bird is yellow in color, yellowish in color, we can say. She has returned to meet, not only to meet, but also to provide nourishment, or rather to say in other words, to feed her young chicks, or rather to say her young baby birds. It makes a jerky chirping sound from the branch end. The mother's arrival creates a sudden stir and noise, and that startles the silence all around. The little young ones are there in a nest, and all of a sudden, euphoric excitement can be seen in them. All of a sudden, the silent and still laburnum tree regales with life and happiness and with enjoyment. There is a lot of noises. Twitterings and chirrupings can be heard at the same time, because the mother goldfinch comes and it makes a signal sound, and that gives a hint to the baby birds that their mother had arrived, and all of them went on twittering and chirping at the same time. The little bird has a smooth and shiny body as that of a lizard. That is the reason, dear students, there is a term sleek, S-L-E-E-K, sleek as a lizard. And remember, it is always alert and abrupt, and every time it is super cautious in order to protect its baby birds. She is extremely watchful and swift. That is the reason I told she is very much cautious or super cautious. The nest is built securely. The bird enters the thick bunch of leaves and twigs, and at once the tree comes alive like a noisy machine or engine. Just like an engine gets lubricated, it starts up automatically. Here also we find that all of a sudden the machine or the engine starts up, that is the tree. All of a sudden the still and silent tree regales with life and happiness. There is noises all around, or rather to say, there is chirpings or twitterings all around. They too start chirping in excitement. They flap their little wings and put up a confusing noise. Obviously, they recognizes the sound of their mother, and obviously they go on flapping their wings and put up a confusing noise. It is the mother bird who creates all such noise to a high pitch. Then, having fed her chicks, she flies out of the nest to the branch. Her face bears stripes which are its identity marks, a sort of marks on her face. The purpose of her visit is fulfilled. The bird once again flies away towards some unknown place, far, far away, into the infinite. It is written in your text, into the infinite. Silence, as usual, returns to the little tree again, because after successfully accomplishing the feeding process of her chicks or the baby birds, the mother goldfinch flies into the infinite. And as you all know by this time, with the exit of the mother goldfinch, all of a sudden, once again, the laburnum tree subsides into stillness and silence. The bird once again flies away towards some unknown place, far, far away. And after the departure, or after the exit of the goldfinch bird, the laburnum tree once again shifts, or rather to say, the laburnum tree once again becomes silent and still. So it is written here, and with that this summary part ends, silence as usual returns to the little tree once again. So dear students, kindly go through this audio presentation, listen to it very carefully, and if there is any difficulty anywhere, any confusion anywhere, let me know about it. Thank you students. Thank you all.